Workbook properties are details that are stored within an Excel workbook to provide information about the workbook author, the creation and modification dates, and more. This type of information is referred to as metadata and can be useful in managing multiple workbooks, especially in an online or shared environment. Some of these fields can be amended, but some cannot. It's important to note that this information travels with the workbook, for example, if it is sent to a client or a customer. Let's examine the View Workbook Properties panel in a little more detail. You can view your workbook properties by clicking File, Info, Properties, and then Advanced Properties. When the Workbook Properties dialog box opens, you will see 5 tabs: General, Summary, Statistics, Contents, and Custom. The General tab contains basic information about your workbook and includes the file name, type, location, and size. It also displays file information such as date created, last modified, and last accessed. It's important to note that this information is updated automatically as the file changes. It cannot be edited manually. The Summary tab allows you to add information about the workbook to help you and other users understand the origin and purpose of the document. The fields available are title, subject, author, manager, company, category, keywords, comments, and hyperlink base. It's also worth noting that setting the hyperlink base allows you to define the default path to hyperlinks created in the workbook. Like the General tab, the Statistics tab displays the date the workbook was created, last modified, last accessed, and last printed. It may also display the last user to have saved the file, the revision number if available, and the total editing time. Like the General tab, this information is not editable. The Contents tab lists the worksheets contained in the workbook, including hidden worksheets. The Custom tab allows the user to add custom information about the workbook based on more than 25 available options. The information can be added as text, date, number, or yes and no. Any data stored under the Custom tab will only be viewable here and not anywhere else in the workbook. Using the Document Inspector. The Document Inspector is a tool you can use to examine your workbook easily. This includes personal or sensitive information that you may not want to include when sharing your workbook with other users. This information could include comments, document properties, personal information, hidden worksheets, hidden rows and columns, or external links. The Document Inspector also provides you with the ability to delete this information quickly. To access the Document Inspector, click File, Info, check for Issues, and Inspect Document. Because the Document Inspector can remove data that cannot be restored later, you'll be encouraged to save your workbook before using it. This will allow you to restore to a previous version if you remove data that you did not intend. Click Yes to proceed. The Document Inspector will open and allow you to choose the elements the Document Inspector should check for. By default, all the content will be inspected. To proceed, click Inspect. Once the inspection is complete, the Document Inspector will display details on any data it has found, as well as the option to remove it. To remove the data, click the Remove All button beside the data category you wish to remove. If you have chosen to remove data, it is recommended that you click the Reinspect button to rerun the inspection and confirm that the data has been removed. You can also click the Close button to return to the workbook to investigate any identified data that you are unsure about. This can be hidden columns or rows before returning to the inspector to inspect your workbook once again. You have now explored enhancing workbooks and manage workbook properties. It's time to put what you have learned into practice. In the next part, you will have an opportunity to complete an exercise on managing workbook properties.